should be working good. I should be live right about now. Okay, let me just put this here. I have got a couple new things to do, so I am a little early because I've got a new camera. I've got a couple new things here on the Talking with Dashing Foxie show. So hopefully people will be lining up and be ready. I'm going to start my show in the next 5 minutes, and then we'll get on with the current topic of volunteering. I'm just trying to get everything worked out because I've got a new camera, and there's my other camera, and there's me. Ain't I beautiful? But what I'm going to do is I'm just trying to work out all the bugs before I head on and do whatever. Hello from California. Hello. I don't know if there's a person I've ever had from California. Hello, good sir. Hopefully you enjoy the Talking with Dashing Foxie show. Also, we see Evie for the first time tonight, and we are going to be talking about volunteering. I'm just trying to get everything ready, make sure everything's good so people can hear me. That's good. That's good. And everything looks pretty good when it comes to that frequency. So, yeah. I guess before we can really get the show to begin, hopefully you guys like my last one. It was from Furry Migration. I am back in New Jersey. But it's okay. I do like Minnesota, and I'm going to go back there next year. So next year I'll have a panel there, hopefully, and not be completely screwed up. So we'll take a look. We'll see if that does happen and stuff like that. And we'll definitely do that. And we're going to get into more different topics today about volunteering. I'll open up the phone lines basically all this time, and hopefully people will start coming in. Hello, Max. Hi there, Max. And we're going to talk about it in the next 3 minutes. Give me a little bit more time. Still trying to see, making sure there's no bugs this time and stuff like that. And everything does look pretty good. Okay, you know what? I guess we'll be fine for right now and stuff. Let me tell you a little bit about what happened last week. Okay, if you did watch my show last week, I was in the great state of Minnesota, and I was, at the Furry convention, which is great, fantastic. I got a new jersey. I don't know if you can see it, but I got a new jersey. I got everything that I've always wanted. I got to be in a fur con. I got to do a bunch of different things, and it was just great all around. So this week is sponsored by that con. Oh, you know what I forgot to do, guys? And hello to... Cool. And I just need to compose one. Come on, where is it? I hate being in my fursuit sometimes. It sucks. Guys, if you want to do videos, it might be better not to do it in your fursuit because you can't see crap. And I just wanted to paste this over here, and hopefully people start coming in and watching this live stream. Okay. Okay, so hello. Hello, everyone. Okay, so make sure to share this if you do like my shows. And this will be an informative one. So don't expect it to be exciting, even if all my shows are basically informative and they're not the most exciting thing you've ever seen. And hopefully with this new camera, I've got some new ideas that I do want to try, and I'm going to try them to make my show a little bit cooler or hip to the kids, if that's what you would like to say. So, why am I doing this week? For volunteering. Well, I was at a furry convention, obviously, in Furry Migration, as you heard me say 3 times if you've been here since the beginning. I was at a furry convention that had problems getting volunteers. It was literally one of those cons that you could ghost the whole entire thing and probably not have a problem, you know, in any sort of fashion because of the ghosting, which is a terrible, terrible thing, guys. Ghosting a con is not good, but there's people out there who will do it if they have the opportunity or the chance to do it. So what I want to do and what I think that people should want to do is volunteer. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Dashing, this is going to be boring. I have to volunteer. Especially whenever it comes with, you know, volunteering stuff like giving up my time, my effort, and all this other stuff that I have to do. But it is very important to a con that you volunteer. And I would like to express this with this whole entire informational video if you do ever want to volunteer. And I will go through each thing. There's actually a great website I found on just volunteer for furries. It is actually a FurCon website, and it gives me all the lists of what you can do if you want to volunteer. And it makes it really easy for you to really, you know, volunteer and maybe make a correct informed on where you're going to volunteer and when you want to volunteer. So now, guys, again, it's going to be a little bit more informational, but that's going to be a good thing because I would love for people more to volunteer. I also got some comments to read from Twitter. So I do have a Twitter. It is dashingfoxie, and you can go ahead and give me your experience, or you can write it in the comments below, and we'll get to your comments about volunteering and what you have done to volunteer, because I would like to really hear some feedback and also congratulate the people who did it, because volunteering is one of those things that not everybody can do or not everybody wants to do. So without further ado, without me, you know, constantly rambling on about this, let's get right into it. Okay, so your very first instinct on volunteering. Volunteering can be very, very helpful to a convention. Now, I have created a pros and cons list on this. Now, this is pros for you for doing it and pros for the con for you doing it. Okay, so now I'm going to first start out. Actually, this is why I got my other camera. Let me just click over to my other camera here. So I got the pros and con board. Ooh, how fancy, right? Okay, so if you guys can see it, hopefully you can, because I tried really making this great for you guys to see it and all this other stuff. Okay, so what are the pros? I just feel like doing my hand thing. The pros are, if you do want to volunteer at a FurCon, the pros are you save money the next con. Now, what does that mean? That means that you get to save on registration next year. A lot of cons offer this, or they offer some sort of thing that you can get a t-shirt, you can get a whole bunch of different rewards for it, but I have that on the pros as well. Okay, so we also have helping the con grow. Why are you going to help the con grow? Okay, becomes really chaotic, guys. Like, it becomes really chaotic. And with the less people that they have to only want to work 5 hours in the whole entire con, you could do that. And it really helps the con even if you have 5 hours. I volunteered for a total of 6 hours when I was at Furry Migration. So it literally helps, and you can get away from your free time. You can go do the fursuit parade. That's what I did. I was volunteering until the fursuit parade, and it really helped out the con because nobody was checking badges getting into the dealer's den, which that's a great thing to do. Okay, our next one is you have a chance of moving up. Now, what does moving up mean, you ask? Moving up basically means this. You can start from a volunteer to move up to a staff member. I have stories in here that people have become from volunteering to making staff, to making other decisions that could be important to the con, or other things like that. Okay? So moving up is very important. And the last but not least of the pros is the free stuff that you get. You usually tend to get free stuff. And by free stuff, I mean you can get your next con badge for free. You can get, I know Furry Migration, they gave out tickets. You can actually get a shirt for free. You can get a whole bunch of different things. They even have volunteer meals that where you can actually go and have a meal, and it's not like a crappy meal. It's actually a pretty decent meal. And you can actually, you know, eat for free and have a good time while doing it. Now, what are the cons? There's always cons to every sort of thing when you're volunteering. And it sucks, but you're going to have to do it. Time. You're taking your valuable time, especially when you're going to a con. That's why I always say to people who are volunteering, try out a small con. See if you like it first, because that time can really basically be boring. And that's the next thing. It can be boring sometimes. Yes, it can be. But that's why you try to find it to turn it into a pro that's something you like. Like I have a story in here that somebody was a, shoot, hold on, I know this. It was a person who did video equipment and he really loved that. So he was doing video equipment and he enjoyed it. So that's a two-way street. It can be boring and stuff. And sometimes you do have to work hard. But it's worth it though, because you want to see the con grow. But yet you have to work hard at it. You've got to put in your time to do it. And I know that those are both cons over there, and time's a big one. I think time really stops people from really volunteering, because people go, well, I don't want to ruin my con by doing all these stupid things like setting up things and doing things like that. And I get it, and that's totally cool. But that is a con within itself. And I feel like that's why people don't do it. And I'm hopefully not, actually I'm just going to put the board down there until I actually, you know, get a board holder and stuff like that. Okay, so very important, and that's basically my cons to it and my pros. Okay, now I'm going to open up the phone line so you guys can call in. We're going to read some tweets about this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look at the kinds of things you can do while volunteering for a convention or for something that you really enjoy. You can even volunteer for your local fur meet. I had some volunteers when I had my fur meet going, and it really helped me out. Like 100% helped me out. So let's read some comments from Twitter, and let's see what other people experienced, and maybe it can help you in the future. So let's see if we go to Twitter, and we're going to go to the people who actually, you know, wrote in if it loads my Twitter. Thank you. So this person called Snowy, shouts out to you, Snowy, because you're awesome. Okay, I'm a senior assistant director of the region for AntherCon. Have been for 4 years, been on staff for 9 years, all working in registration. Very important, dude. I have to say, I've been to AntherCon quite a bit, and AntherCon's one of those ones this has got to be a hard job. Like, you cannot just have a soft skin for this job. Like, this has got to be a hard job, especially a registration guy. You know how many times he probably gets emails complaining about his registration being how awful it is? So, to tell you the truth, Snowy, really good work, and I hope you continue on to the future and doing it. We're going to talk a little bit more about registration and what that does and how it proceeds into the operation. But for now, thank you, Snowy, for being a great guy and doing registration for us and making our cons a lot more easier. Okay, so the next person we have is Rejax, if it will ever load. Okay, I helped set up panels for Megaplex for a few years, and then I decided to go and help, also help as canifer, I can't speak right now, to carry things and other municipal stuff. Great, very, very helpful. you don't have to be on staff to be really important to a team. You never just have to be on staff. This person right here obviously does a lot of the panels, helps out a lot of them, and that's great. That's a great thing to do, and I hope he continues to do it. And, you know, he might not be on staff, but again, volunteering really helps out in the long run. So, thanks, Rejax. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I like saying, I don't know. So, really good work, and I hope you continue doing that, and thank you for helping me with my cons. My next person here is, Be Good. I'm just going to say Be Good. Okay? I started volunteering by helping with the art show, setting up in Albany Anthrocon. Wow, that's really old. That's like really old. It's not in Albany anymore. It's obviously in Pittsburgh. But, so this person has been doing it. And other valued duties behind the scenes as staff before finally ending up as publishing director in 2003. That is fantastic. You have been doing it for almost 10 times more than I've done it. Wow, that's really good. And that's dedication too. Because a lot of these people who are volunteer from out of the state. They go the whole way and travel, take up their time, their effort for a convention to volunteer their time and services. That's gotta be tough. Like, that's really gotta be tough. So, good job, Be Good, or Unicorn. I'll just call you Unicorn because you're really rocking that unicorn. But really, to tell you the truth, that's one thing that I do have to say. Thank you, and thanks for all your hard work, because that takes a lot of dedication, especially traveling all that far. Maybe, you know, if she's all that far, or he, or I don't know, but really have to, you know, travel good far. Okay, the next one is Max Shep. If you want to follow him, you can follow him, whatever. I volunteer for either the con books in one of the rooms with a few other furs. Will help them. It will help them in the long run. Just setting up the con, maybe taking apart the con if you're there, you know, the day after the con, or doing anything like that. It's going to help them in the future, you know, because it takes a lot to set up these cons. And just because you're there early and you're doing nothing doesn't mean you don't have to be doing nothing. You could be doing something like Max Shepard here and volunteer with the books and stuff. Very good, Max, and I hope you continue doing it, and I hope you keep having lots of fun doing it. I have two more here that I would like to share. Volunteered as AV setup for Pine Fur Con this past year, setting up the speakers and lights as well as configuring and mixing boards. It was fun. And see, that's what I'm going to be talking about. Whenever I get into these sorts of things that you can be doing, AV is one of them. And one of the things is, if you like AV equipment and you like all that other stuff, you're going to be having fun volunteering. And Dynamite, okay, I think he lives close to he lives somewhere in PA or like somewhere up on the eastern. So to tell you the truth, him driving all that way and volunteering for a con, that takes a lot of time and effort, and it helps the con, and he probably felt rewarding afterwards, because you really do feel like, oh, I did a great job. I helped the con. I love this con so much, and all that other stuff. That's why I helped out Furry Migration, because when you love a con, you're going to do anything to help it succeed. And that's one thing that we'll talk about more in detail whenever we're going on with this. Okay. Last but not least, I was an exhibitor, and that is an important job too. Not really too much detail, but to tell you the truth, anything helps out, anything at all. Thank you, everyone. I'll do the names here. I'll do, I think his name's Arcady, Arkandi, if I can pronounce that right. We have Dynamite 22. Thank you for helping out. Max Shepard, great job for helping out. Be Good, thank you for helping out. Or Unicorn, as I like to call the person. Oh, no, that's about it. We have Rex Jack, thank you for helping out the con. And Snowy. So next time you see these guys, or if you see them anywhere, tell them thank you for helping out the con. Really, probably really appreciate it, and all that other wonderful things. So let me switch over back to my wonderful face, because I know you guys missed it so much. And all this other stuff. Let's read some of the comments and see what we have going on here. Oh no, boops all. Well, you don't want to boop them all, because then that would be bad. Let's open some fur lines. Oh, I get it, fur lines. I get it. Definitely love to help, and at Toby and stuff like that. Okay, so let's continue on. Hopefully we'll get some more people. Please, guys, if you are watching this, please share it around to your friends. Let's try to get more people involved in the, you know, talking of volunteering, because I don't see any videos made by this. I've literally tried looking for the internet. Literally nobody helped out with this. I'm trying to help out fur cons and maybe help somebody else in the future. So if you have a favorite fur con, please send it to them. You know, maybe it could help them out in the future. You know, get some talk about what you could do to be a fur con or anything like that. Let's try to get more people in here and have more of a discussion. I'm going to open up the phone lines right now. 393684. If somebody wants to type that in the comments, I would really appreciate it, because right now my keyboard doesn't work, because I think people really should be volunteering more. And that's one of my favorite cons too. Furry Migration is one of my favorite cons. It's very exciting. It's not really the action that everybody else has. Like, it's like a relaxing, get to know the person con, and I really enjoy that a lot. And I just remembered I can't share anything because, unfortunately, I have no keyboard. So never mind about sharing. So please share that around to any con that might need the help or anything like that. So let me go back to here. Okay, so, oh wait, no, that's the wrong thing. Being in a fursuit, guys, sucks. Okay. This message is under review. Oh, yep, no. Why is that message underneath review? Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. And, show. Okay, so, now, guys, you're probably wondering to yourself, Dashing, this is boring. I know it's boring. Being informational is not the most exciting thing. I had to do a lot of research for this, so please, guys, bear with me. I know it's not the most exciting. Hopefully we get some more calls coming in. Get some experiences with those people who actually did volunteer. And maybe we can make it more exciting. You know, I'm trying here, guys. So here's what we're going to do. Let's see. I'm going to do this, and if I can find it, I wish I could. Okay. So we're going to go with the experiences of volunteering. If I can get to my thing. Okay. Now, what's it like volunteering at Further Confusion? Now, Further Confusion, this website really breaks it down well, and I wanted to use it as a perk because of the simple fact that they break it down so well, and it really helps out. It helps out with all this other stuff, especially meeting schedules. There will be times where you have to meet. If you are staff or anything like that, you have to meet. And that all comes down to being the time. Time's a big con with this. And that's why a lot of people don't do this, is because of the time. Everybody who has done this always goes, man, I wish I could have fursuited instead of doing this, or I wish I could have done something else instead of, you know, volunteering. Let's see. Volunteering doesn't have to be a huge time commitment, see? We work hard to make sure our volunteers can have a balance of enjoying the con themselves as well as helping out. most of our con volunteers are, can't speak, 12, so it goes 12 to 8 to 12 hours access, 4 hours per day on less and stuff like that. So you can pick your time. That's the wonderful thing about volunteering. You don't have to go with they don't give you a schedule and you don't have to keep the schedule. You don't have to do anything like that. All you have to do is just volunteer your time. It could be 2 to 3 hours, maybe even less. It's up to you. Okay, so what are some of the volunteers? Lots of perks. You get free registration for this con. And not every con, there's some that just give discounts, like Furry Migration gave discounts. For a $70 discount. Man, it's hot. Okay, you get to be a hospital team serving free hotel meals. There you go. You get free hotel meals. Free. Isn't that great? You get our staff room block, which is always easy. Book with rushing and stuff like that. But whatever. Okay, so basically this. If I can just find my cursor here. So every con is different in the aspect of this. For MFF, if you become a staff member, now this is very important, you could actually get a free hotel room. Well, not a free one. Let me reset it. Whoop. Okay. What you actually get is the chance to actually book your room first, which is very important to some people. Because if you want that main hotel room at MFF, there's either you're really, 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 really lucky, or you become a staff member. And the one thing good about becoming a staff member is that you get the first access to it, you get the first exact thing to it, and you get the first everything. So, wonderful thing for MFF. AC, I think, does the same exact thing. Further Confusion obviously does the same exact thing. BLFC is probably going to be doing that exact thing soon, because BLFC is becoming harder and harder to get into. So, great idea if you want that room and you can guarantee that room space. Know a friend who's staff, or become a staff yourself. So, that's how I become actually doing it. I actually know a staff member at MFF that I get to go to MFF every year, stay in the main hotel, because I know a staff member. I would like to become a staff member someday, but right now, I don't see that possible because I work a lot and I like to use my cons for relaxation and stuff like that. Maybe in the future, maybe when I get my crap together. I got to get my crap together first. So, which is a very good thing. So, let's see. Let's do this here. Let me go back to my page here, if I can find my cursor. Where are you, cursor? Oh, guys, and please share this around. Please try to get other people in here. I mean, oh, wrong one. I mean, 3 is okay, but I want more. Is that so wrong for me to ask? And this is a very important topic, and I wish people would understand this. Very important topic.
1, 6, 3, 1, 4,
I got a call.
9,
Let me
3, 9,
go back to my
1,
face here
2.
before I answer it. Okay. Hello, welcome, caller. Can you hear me, caller?
Hello. Yes, I do.
Please turn off your microphone. I mean, your well, just pause the video so I'm not.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was watching it like as it was ringing, and I'm like, oh, he hears me.
Yeah.
But then I realized it was like a delay. So.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But yes, this is Avera. Hi.
Hello.
What's up?
You know, just here, doing my show.
Great, great. Actually, you know, this is a very interesting topic, and you know, I'm surprised that a lot of other people don't really talk about this that much. I mean, you had the pros and cons list, but I think like when you're weighing the pros and cons, you have to kind of consider like how much of a con certain things are. For instance, like time, like when you're at a convention. Some of my friends have been volunteers before, sadly, I never actually volunteered at a convention before, but I do know people that have, and you're totally right. Like, they get, some free stuff. I mean, like, it depends on the convention, but sometimes, like, they get free stuff, like they get to go to the front of the line, or they get, like, free food or whatever. But there's also the aspect of time. I was, this is at Furpocalypse, and my friend and I were at this room party. And for some reason, they gave him a walkie-talkie, even though he wasn't actually staff, but he was like an EMT, so he sort of like needed it. And, they buzzed him down to like the main floor, and he had to leave the party just like and go help somebody who was like in the bathroom and not really feeling so well. Turned out the situation was fine, but yeah, I mean. Volunteering is definitely needed at cons. I mean, like, they're very understaffed. At least a lot of them that I've seen.
I was in the same boat less than maybe 24 hours ago, or 42 hours, whatever. And it really is a time-consuming job. You have to think of this as a job away from your real job. And
right.
You're absolutely right with the time. And I feel like that's where it steers people off. I mean, I could be wrong completely, but the time and effort that, you want to do at a FurCon, like let's say you want to go to the fursuit dance, but then you realize, oh crap, I'm going to volunteer that time. It becomes.
Oh yeah,
Do I want to?
Like, well, this is something I wanted to do, but now I have to actually like do some work because I committed to doing it. Yeah.
So, and I feel like this comes up more when it comes to people's decision. Volunteering at let's just say Furry Migration was pretty terrible. Nobody really signed up. It was basically a Saturday con, so everybody showed up Saturday, but there was only a small percentage volunteering. And it becomes a problem because, let's say a person like me who would like to take advantage of the system could ghost a con and basically, have a negative influence on the con. And nobody wants to do that, but there's a small percentage of people who like to do that and can get away with it, So
right. I mean, I guess you could say that I'm kind of guilty of that because I really don't want to I don't know. I mean, like volunteer at cons. I mean, like I could, but then I might be missing out on things that I might want to do, and it's not like I'm a staff member of the con, or I'm not getting paid or anything. But I do understand that volunteers are definitely needed.
Yes, yeah, and volunteers.
So I don't know. There was one time actually last year at Anthrocon where I didn't volunteer per se, but I helped set up the chairs in the main ballroom, and I felt very good about myself. I walked in there and there were 3 people. There were only 3 people setting up 400 chairs for the next event, and I was like, holy crap, do you guys need help? And they're like, oh yes, thank you, God bless you. And I was like, okay. But I wasn't an official volunteer or anything like that. It just happened.
But the good thing about volunteering again is it does make you feel good, and it does have its rewards. If you volunteer over a certain amount of time, I know Anthrocon, they treat you to a whole meal, and that's pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It definitely does have its rewards.
So, but the problem is...
And, you don't even have to be a staff member, you can just volunteer for, like you mentioned, about, 8 to 12 hours or whatever it was.
Yeah. And, and even what I did, I volunteered for 6 hours, and, it sucked I couldn't volunteer anymore, but, I was on vacation. It was, literally my only one of my only vacations this year. So I was like, oh, well, I can volunteer or, do my other stuff. And I'm guilty of it, too. Everybody's guilty of it. If you say that you're not guilty of the time, You're not. I mean, you are guilty of it. And that's the one thing that does suck. And it does turn people away from volunteering. But hopefully...
no, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're right. Like, whenever you go to a convention, it's typically like an escape. People just want to go there, have fun, escape the world. They don't want to have to, like, do jobs or anything like that. Which is actually kind of unfortunate because, some cons really do need, like more staff, people to help out. Thankfully, some people do step up, which is good.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm hoping this video brings. Maybe more people to actually volunteer at cons or, maybe go, well, I love to do what I want to do, but sometimes to help the con grow, I have to put away what I want and go with what